How you doing? So, I want to talk about this idea of like the African diaspora in foreign countries and how much do we support each other's businesses? How well does the money circulate in our communities? I think we all kind of have a sense of what we do with our money as soon as we make a few bucks. Do we go shopping? We probably buy some groceries. You get that little item that you wanted, whatever it is. You go to the venue that you like to go. You watch a certain musician. You eat maybe a certain food. But my question to you is, where did you support your own during that time? When you had $100, how much of that $100 went to your community? How much of that $100 is supporting people in your demographics? You know, and this is not a question to provoke like anti other anything. This is just about supporting the people that look like you, who come from your place, people who identify with you. Now, I think this is important because I've often heard people who are really anti their own community, which is kind of tragic if you ask me. People who really say things like, "Oh, I don't like to go to restaurants by my people because the service is bad," or people just don't want to patronize their own community's businesses, and they have a bias against them. And they believe that somehow going to another establishment is going to offer them a better experience. And I think there's a lot of self-hate in that kind of thinking. And it's a real tragedy for people who kind of see that, who have that perspective. But I want to challenge you today. I want to challenge you to support one business in your community today, this week, this month, and track how many of your own businesses you can support. Now, if you try to take on this challenge, one of the first things you'll find is that it's a bit of a challenge even finding all your businesses of your community. You don't even know where they are, right? Like, you're like, where do I find the businesses of my culture so that I could have a 360 experience of supporting them all? That is the riddle that I was trying to solve when I was building a website called Zifrica.com. I had built this site because I thought, I can't find all the businesses if I want to support this community. If I'm Kenyan, I want to support Kenyan businesses. I can't find it. If I want to go and support businesses from Sierra Leone, I can't find them all. I don't know where they are. I don't know. And it's not to say that they don't exist. There's doctors who are from Sierra Leone heritage. There's carpenters who are from Ghana. There's dentists from South Africa. There are so many businesses out here that we could support from your own African diaspora and neighboring diasporas. But the problem is you don't know where they are. That's literally the crux of the problem, the first stage of the problem. At the second stage is then deciding whether you want to support them. And I think having at least one or two or three options is a good place, right? Because then you can say, okay, maybe I'm not jiving with this business, but there's one right next door. So when I was creating this website, Zifrica, I wanted to have a space where people could at least locate other businesses. So if you know of businesses that are of the African diaspora, they might not even be from your immediate diaspora, but I would challenge you to list them. List them on Zifrica for other people to find them. And that way, you're taking a step in helping a business that nobody else knew about get located. Now, the irony of knowing about a business is you might think everybody else knows about it, but a lot of people just don't. There was a time when I was trying to do my trying to have somebody's hair get done. Uh, and I could not locate a business. I had to call somebody who called somebody. And you realize like this stuff is common knowledge to somebody else, but I didn't know, you know. And then it turned out that business wasn't even that far away. So we have a lot of collective information that we just aren't sharing with each other. And that collective information, because we don't share it with each other, prevents us from supporting each other. So it's inheritively advantageous for us to at least document the businesses that we know about. And then people can challenge each other with supporting businesses of people in your community. You might be surprised that you might be the difference in the outcome of a business staying open. We're especially in the foreign diaspora, this is a real challenge, because in the foreign diaspora, you know, small business is already struggling to stay open. Compound that with elements of racial prejudice, bias, you know, and that business is really trying to go uphill. It's a steep hill to climb. Now, the person who's least biased, I think, from a racial perspective or something, would probably be somebody from their own community, because at least they recognize that this is my own people, you know. So, but you can't expect somebody to come from across the world to come and support your business or people of your community. Like, if you're not eating at your restaurants, who are you expecting to eat at those restaurants? If you're not patronizing your doctors, who do you expect to patronize those doctors? I had a friend who graduated from medical school, and he talked about walking into a patient's room, and the patient immediately just saw that he was black and said no. Now, who do you think would probably be the best client for that doctor? I would say it's people from his own community. That at least would be his people who feel and recognize, and they see him, and he sees us. But we don't know where he practices. We don't know his information, so it's hard to support him. So if you go on Zifrica, you'll probably see, like, I have a bunch of different categories. I have health category, for example. You could list like a doctor that you know, their contact info, that somebody can be able to locate them. But I think it's an important step in supporting our communities by at least first locating and listing them. And then other people in our communities can find them. And then also patronizing our communities and the neighboring communities, because I think we have enough. We are enough. I don't want to sound like a slogan, but we are enough as a community to support each other. And as a Pan-African culture across these different countries, we are enough to sustain ourselves in different ways. We have farmers in our communities. There are people who, they might not have acres, but they might have a few crops that they're growing in their backyard. We could buy from them, but we don't know they exist. You know, we have people who do daycare, you know, in our communities. We have people who work on cars. They repair brakes, and they're good at it. You know, we could support them, but we need to be able to find them. So I just want to encourage you with this storyline to challenge yourself to support your own community. And if you need a place to figure out where other people of your community exist, you can go to that website that I have here listed on the screen, and share anything you know. Start off by sharing what you know. Any businesses that you know, just list them there so other people can find them. And then challenge yourself over time to try to find a business that is from your community or neighboring community and support them. And I think that is a great thing to accomplish in 2025, because that is the domino effect of, over time, having the compounding effect, or even I'd call it the butterfly effect. So give it a try. Other than that, thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you so much for your time. Like, if you like it, leave a comment if you have any thoughts, and share it with anybody that you also want to challenge. Maybe we can create a way of challenging each other. If you guys are trying to challenge me with the idea, as I challenge you, and you want to kind of create some accountability around that, feel free to hit me up on the comment section. But I want to just challenge people to go down this journey because I think it's an important path, and it ultimately is what's going to create more wealth in our communities. It's going to create more sustainability for us. It's going to give us more agency, and that's what we really need. We don't need to always be looking for jobs in other people's establishments. We need to be able to create jobs for ourselves, and we do that by supporting our own. Thank you.